What's the greatest lie ever told? If anyone plays Sekiro, spoilers ahead. Greater than. Well, my friend was playing Sekiro and well, it was fun to watch. BC, I already finished the game and he sometimes asks me how to progress, but once he asked me if Genichiro will come back and I told him he won't. BC, he was killed by OWL, based on different ending. After 2 days he got to final boss and there he was, Genichiro himself. I mean, not the greatest because I don't remember all my lies, but I am proud on this lie. Less than. School will help you. No, it won't. School literally caused my mental problems. 4 times I switched school hoping it will be better. I live in Poland and am German, and why am I being bullied? Because I'm from a country that was aggressive in World War II. You should always forgive someone. Growing up with an abusive mother, I always felt guilty that I couldn't forgive her until I realized you have the right to not forgive someone, and you only need to forgive someone if it's something that will benefit you. It's okay not to forgive someone while you're still dealing with the trauma they created. 1. In the beginning created the heaven and the earth. 2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of moved upon the face of the waters. 3. And said, let there be light, and there was light. That a salaried position is prestigious. That HR is there to help you. That the company will treat you fairly, like family. THST, you don't need to be paid for doing the prep work for your job. That CEOs work harder than the entry-level worker. I could go on. That we are not, every single day, making a choice to not feed and house absolutely everyone on the planet. We are making that choice. Right now. And now. And now. Every moment you have lived on this planet, we have been making that choice. To not do the right thing. The lies that enable that thinking are everywhere. That there's a heaven and that if you follow the Bible you'll go to heaven. Not to bash religion, but the Bible is a man-made book with zero credibility that people to this day take it for its word versus asking why, because they are so scared of death and not knowing what will come next. The Bible is a lie because there's no proof to any of it. Some things are recorded in history that are in the Bible, but it's not religious worthy. I'm not an atheist. Just anti-religion. Which country do you never think about? Google's world map. Forget a country. I forgot about a whole continent. Antarctica. Cringe. Senegal. Saw them at the World Cup. Don't believe I've thought of them ever before. I grew up with an old globe that included the USSR, so I never think about those smaller countries that were a part of the USSR. Singapore? I'm Singaporean and hear a lot of Americans say we are China and should not be associated with. Andorra. You know, the small European country nestled between France and Spain. I never hear anything about it. Oh honey, I'm American. You can't imagine how many countries I don't even know exist. Just by virtue of answering, we have now thought of these places, making us all liars. Suriname. I'd say that very few Americans ever do. Though it's in this hemisphere. But if you just wanted to hide out somewhere, it'd work. I often forget that Russian even a thing while looking at a map. Oh wow, Japan's so big. Friend, girl, WTF. Most African countries. No one really knows all of them or what distinguishes one from the other. It's really the unknown continent. Those 3 countries just above Brazil. The Guyanas. No one knows what's there. It's terra incognita. Hic sunt draconis. I'm a flag enthusiast, and one of the countries I never think about is either Norfolk Islands or the Åland Islands. Also, I sometimes confuse Mauritania and the Maldives. Many of the small island nations in Oceania. As well as a bunch of the African nations where nothing makes it to international news. Gambia. Togo. Malawi, etc. Dude. Once overheard a guy at a restaurant say he had never been to the country of London. Serious. He was serious. One of his companions asked. To clarify, if he meant England. Dude responded that he hadn't been to that country either. Democratic Republic of the Congo. They've changed so much. I knew them as Zaire, but you wouldn't even recognize them now. Sad really. I do hope they're happy. What do you think of pornosexuals? They're immature and terrible in bed. I literally don't care what people. 2. I'm asexual. I don't understand any form of sexual attraction, so I don't understand the people. Is this something new? Never heard of a pornosexual. What is a pornosexual? I looked it up. They are people who prefer to reel. What a sad way to live. No one has ever been able to build a meaningful connection with a screen. 100% not the kind of people I'd ever spend my time with. Just saying. Indifferent ig. You do you. I don't think it's psychologically healthy, but I wouldn't really know. If they're fine with only getting off too, I'm fine with it. It's their life and they're not hurting anyone. Why judge that? I think I understand what it means, but just to be sure, do you care to elaborate what a pornosexual is? Is that people who can't picture their desires or sexuality outside of? I've never heard of that. But based on the root words of it, I wouldn't be interested in them. However, they are welcome to be into whatever they are into as long as everyone involved is of age and fully consenting. I assume a pornosexual is a person who is mainly attracted to. Not a guy for me to be in a relationship with. Is too important to me. It validates me and makes me feel connected to the other person. I can't picture a pornosexual as a person who I would be compatible with. I'm not too worried about how other people choose to please themselves as long as it's with consenting adults. When it comes to healthy, consensual People should worry less about what others think, and more about what makes them happy. Neurodivergent people of Reddit. What was your wait? That is not normal? Moment? I think about few of them. You mean other people hate meetings because they are a waste of time? Not because they are physically painful and they can't pay attention to anything after the first 3 minutes? You mean other people aren't just constantly in a low-level panic about what's going to come out of their mouths? You mean other people can just decide to do something, and then do it? High school. First girlfriend. The number of educational talks, fights that were needed to begin to cover what was apparently really basic, you're supposed to do in a relationship was about equal to the number of days we dated. On the bright side, I really love learning. On the downside, it was like memorizing you absolutely have to put on your left sock before the right sock kinds of rules, from my point of view at least. Everything just seemed arbitrary and random, every day, and trying to incorporate them all at once. To be fair, I eventually learned that relationship was toxic and some of all that was abuse, controlling, crazy in its own right. But, yeah, learned a lot. Really. It was after the fact, looking back, that everything made so much more sense. So that's why I can't always guess how I should act in a particular situation if I've never encountered it before and seen normal responses out of others. I'm a social chameleon and can effectively ingratiate myself into all social groups. I quickly burn out on social interaction and need to disconnect to decompress. When I'm myself, people constantly mistake me for upset or angry. Because neutrality isn't a positive feedback loop. People actively strive to be around me and think I'm the nicest person they know. I find most people unintelligent and don't care about emotional connections. Wait, there's a difference between being incapable of starting and actively making the decision not to start? Wait, you mean it's not normal to float around friend groups? Being friendly with everyone but never really having a group to call your own? Wait, you mean it's not normal to feel apathetic about anything and everything? Being lethargic to a point of barely wanting to get out of bed and certainly not wanting to take a shower or anything? Wait, you mean it's not normal to be in such a state of brain fog that you feel like you're thinking through 50 pillows while having 1,000 thoughts simultaneously? Wait, coffee actually wakes people up? Men with long silky hair. What's your secret? Don't use 2-in-1 conditioner shampoos. Tips depend on the thickness of the hair, honestly. I wear boxer shorts so that it has more room to grow and I can groom it to hang down my trouser legs. Each individual strand is very fine. But I have a lot of them. Hence, it is full, silky, and has plenty of body. Good genes. The same as to why I never had acne. Can grow a killer beard quickly. And am 6 feet 4 inches and quad. Some people just hit the genetic lottery. Maybe he is born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Genetics. Sorry. But that's the main point. What makes you think it's silky? Wash and condition it. But don't wash every day. Brush your hair with an expensive bristle brush. A maternal grandfather with long, silky hair. I literally just use shampoo every day. That's all. Biggest thing for me was to not sleep on it. I keep it up in a bun or top ponytail so I don't lay on it while I'm asleep. Other than that, I wash every other week and have ditched conditioner. Find what works for you. I tried a bunch of different shampoo and products before realizing they weren't actually making my hair look/feel the way I wanted it to. Redken the gold bottles and the red anti-frizz bottles. I alternate, depending on whichever the supply store has a special on. I have a connect in the industry so I pay like half what you'd pay at Ulta. When I used to have long hair I treated just like my short hair. Used whatever cheap ASD shampoo I could find. But I only washed it with shampoo a couple times a week. It was super thick and straight so it was a task to wash and brush that. It was funny, a lot of girls would ask me my secret for my hair. And I didn't have one, just laziness. My hair isn't super long. But it's long enough that I have to put some time and effort into it if I don't want to look like a homeless person. I spend a little extra for high quality shampoos and conditioners. And use an argan-based hair oil when I get out of the shower. Once every 2 weeks. I use an extra strength, deep cleaning shampoo and deep conditioner. If I ever have to skip this step for whatever reason, like if I'm traveling or something, I definitely notice the difference. My hair gets pretty coarse and unruly by week 3 or 4. That keeps it looking pretty respectable.